let's start with the Mozgov stuff because this is what Todd and I were just debating before we brought you on here, Joe. How much effect did Mozgov basically not playing have on the game last night and the game's result?
I don't know. The thing is that they played Mozgov in Game 4. I mean, he had a huge game, 28-10. They got beat by 20. Todd
is literally patting himself on the back right now because you are saying exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, and well, he did have an impact, but I thought yesterday what they did, I mean, they played him and they gave him the ball like back-to-back possessions, but that's not how he got his 28 points. So he's not a back-to-the-basket player. He's a guy that offensive rebounds or finds openings where he flashes to the hole and he finishes at the rim. He's not a post-up player. So they used him those first couple of times and then kind of went away from like, oh, he's not on today. But that's not how he got to 28. So they just went small. I think they knew they were eventually going to have to get small, but they have a luxury in being able to play LeBron James at the 5. So with the small lineup, they're okay. But I just think because they have a lot of guys that are very similar, that are not accustomed to playing together. I think they're playing guys on the floor that have no familiarity. Of course, you know your teammates because, you know, you've been around them, but you don't play a lot with those guys. They're not accustomed to doing this. And Golden State is a team that's been doing it all year. It would be like a team, you know, just trying to implement our offense right in the middle of the season. That's very difficult for a team to do.
Joe Adkins with us. I'm going to throw out a question in response to what you just said and just see if I'm reading you correctly. How much, if at all, did Cleveland overreact to pulling Mozgov so quickly? How much of this was just an overreaction by Cleveland?
The reaction is based on Game 4. They got beat by 20. So, you know, you're like, okay, we can either do the same thing and he can get his 28 and 10 again. If we get beat by 20, it doesn't matter. Well, I can kind of take this thing and I can control it again, but I can keep LeBron James with the ball and have him play the 5. And for the majority of the game, they were right there. I mean, they were right in it. They didn't necessarily pull away till towards the end, and it took some magnificent shots from Steph Curry. So I think they were kind of playing the score because it was most of the time, you know, if something's working, you just go ahead and stick with it. I think had it stretched out a little earlier, you may have seen them made another adjustment. But because they were able to come to stay close and they were right there, I thought they just stayed with it because it was effective. I mean, they were getting some good things, and LeBron James was brilliant again.
Todd, stop patting yourself right on the back. Stop it.
Joe Adkins, NBA insider, basketball genius, joins us here on 107.7 The Franchise.
Unbelievable.
We talked about this a little bit, and I know this is going to be the big talking point going into Game 6 because now the Warriors, it looks like, are by far the favorite to win the series. Now the talk is about who wins the MVP and does LeBron win it on a losing team. And, you know, we talked about this, Joe, and I think that Andre Iguodala probably has the best chance for Golden State to win it, but I can't in good conscience give the MVP to a guy that goes 2 from 11 at the free throw line. Well, I mean, what's the deal with that? The guy shoots the ball well from outside sometimes, has in this series. How does a guy that shoots that well from 18, 22 feet shoot 2 of 11 at the free throw line?
Well, this has been a deal with Andre. He's a 72% free throw shooter over the course of his career, and this year, for some reason, he's been in the 40s. And I think last night he made his first one, and then I think he missed his next 9. It's one of those things to where you lose confidence, and once he started to miss, it just kept going. It was just completely downhill. You could see he shot the ball at least 5 different ways. And as a guy that's maybe known as a shooter, that's definitely a sign of inconsistency and losing his confidence. I mean, he was changing it after every free throw. He was trying to make an adjustment. So he's a guy that's truly just lost all his confidence at the free throw line. But at the free throw line is a place where you have to sit there and think, where in live action, he just reacts and plays. When he has a shot, he just jumps up automatically and shoots it. Where the free throws is completely different because you get in a rhythm, you have your routine, and then you got to stand there and then you got to look at it. And every time he looks at it, that goal it appears as if it's moving to him for some reason right now. So I think he may be the guy that could probably get the MVP, but Steph Curry, if he has another performance like he did last night, I think they'll just go ahead and give it to him.
Yeah, he was so bad in the first couple games, so you have an interesting experience because you played with a guy that went through that, right? And Doug Gottlieb at OSU?
Yeah.
What was it like in practice and in games to see him struggle? Was there anything you say to him? Was it something that was day in, day out? Did he make him in practice and miss him in the games?
Yeah, he made him in practice. So it wasn't like he didn't work on it. I mean, he spent hours just working on his free throws. But in the game, I mean, it was just something about it where he couldn't make them, or make them consistently, I should say. He could make them every now and again. But he was one as well where once he missed one, he wanted to fix it every time and try to overcorrect himself, rather than just relaxing and believing in his routine and the work he does every day and just doing what you do. For some reason, for some reason, their anxiety levels move a little bit, and that tends to change how they play in their relaxation. So you see them get a lot more flustered, and you see them shoot several different kinds of shots at the free throw line rather than just sticking with what they've known and what they've been taught.
How much of a shot do you give the Cavs at this point?
I think going back home, I think they have a decent shot. I think, that crowd will be rocking. LeBron, of course, come out. You'll see the best effort based on facing elimination from that team. So
well, if that's the case, we got to really consider him for MVP.
Who was that?
LeBron.
Well, I think he's considered anyway. Did we say he wasn't considered?
No, Zach. Listen to the basketball genius, Joe Adkins.
No, I'm just.
I mean, what are you saying? We've already said he was considered, so why are we? Who said he wasn't considered? I just said another guy may win.
Well, and we know that too, Captain Obvious.
Well, when you ask me a question, I'm going to give you. Sometimes it's the obvious answer, but you had already. The question you asked me was already putting LeBron in it. So why would I have to put him back in it? We were talking about other people. We weren't talking about LeBron.
You're right. You're right. I guess I worded it incorrectly. I thought you knew where I was going, but when you say LeBron's, he's obviously going to come out with, I don't know how you worded it, but his best effort or the best LeBron we've seen so far. I mean, he's already damn near averaging a triple-double, Joe. I mean, how would you not give it to him in a loss, in a 6-game loss, if he does the same thing in Game 6, if not better, like you think he might?
Well, it may not necessarily be better in numbers. I'm talking about as a team, when you're facing desperation, you play differently. I thought Golden State in Game 4, that was desperation. You saw them play different from what they had played in the games before. I think you see a team that's playing with a lot of emotion. They're feeding off a crowd. There's a lot more involved in it that when your back is against the wall or your season's over, you tend to respond differently. I'm saying you will see a better response, and you're going to see a team that's, when they're desperate, you'll see a lot of different things. And, LeBron, he's still a great player, and I never underestimate great players, but I've been thinking about this series and the NBA. If Cleveland was to win this series, it would go against everything that the NBA and basketball is trying to transition into, which is move the basketball and share it and play. We would be saying the NBA, there's one man that can win an NBA championship. And that's pretty hard to believe that we would think one man can beat an actual team in this thing. So I think it's kind of, the cream is going to rise to the top. I think Golden State eventually wins because I don't think one man is good enough to win an NBA championship by himself.
Yes or no, Joe? Tristan Thompson isn't a good enough player yet to be able to wear an Amish hat to a post-game press conference and not get called out for it.
Oh, man, Tristan, come on. He got to step his game up now. I mean, hey, I'm all for the style, but that one right there, he was stretching it a little bit. Or he's got to put a better outfit with that thing for sure.
He's either got to be a better basketball player or have a better outfit, right?
Oh, man. I mean, he's a pretty good basketball player.
He's made a lot of money in this series.
But he's not Amish hat good, is what I'm saying.
Nah, he's not Amish hat good. And I don't know if LeBron even had the Amish hat on. with the attire that he was wearing, I don't know if I would even give him a pass. You know, I'm more of a fashion guy.
LeBron wore like the late 80s leather cap last night.
Enough with this entire conversation.
LeBron looked like he was going to ride a motorcycle after the game.
I mean, you turned Joe in. I mean, he was seriously
I wonder if it's
talking.
Delonte West's motorcycle and if it's got a bunch of weapons in the.
You had Joe seriously breaking down attire in turn. I mean, he was serious.
That's right.
That means
Joe was breaking down what?
Attire.
No, I'm saying if you're wearing a hat like that, you should have something else to go with the hat.
Yeah.
The hat didn't go with the outfit.
Yeah. I know.
You can't get away with. You're not a star. You can't get away with that.
No, I'm not breaking it down. I thought, well, maybe that's just maybe your brain doesn't work like that. Maybe I'm more of a fashion guy, Zach. So you didn't see those type of things. But
yeah, you notice.
I am very versatile in what I do.
Yes, you are.
Joe hasn't had any issue with me today. Let me remind you again, Joe Adkins, our NBA insider and basketball genius.
Yes,
just overall genius here on 107.7 The Franchise.
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what his tombstone will say. Joe Adkins, genius. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you.
All right, guys. You all have a good day, man.
All right, man.